So just thought I'd give you a quick update of what's happening in the garden. And over the last week, we've had lots of windy, stormy weather. So things like my gunnerer has been battered, the dahlias have been battered, pretty much all the foliage plants have been battered. And also my archway, where I have my wonderful chocolate vines and passion flowers going over it, that has been rocked and broken at the base. So that is going to have to come down as well. So we'll be doing that over the next few months, taking the climbers off and doing something new with that space, whether it be a new archway or something else in that area. So that's unfortunate that that's happened, but with all the wet and windy weather we've had, it's meant we've basically had no frosts. We've had a very light ground frost, but nothing really to damage any of the plants, and the weather forecast for the next few weeks doesn't look too scary either. Again, wet and windy, some settled periods, but it's not going down to sub-zero. So we'll be heading into December without any true cold to zap the plants. So things like the cannas, which I still have around me, the irisine, some of the dahlias are still looking really good. The ricinus, the castor oil plants, all these plants that are tend to get blackened by frost haven't had their foliage damaged at all yet, apart from by the wind. So they're still looking good. So I can enjoy the garden for a few more weeks. But this also means I'm less likely to protect stuff in terms of getting things ready, which is a bad thing to do. So I keep saying this, I really need to protect my arid beds because they're getting loads of rainfall on them, which is not what they want. So they want to be dry. So I do need to get those shelters up soon. But I want to do it when it's not windy and rainy, which is pretty hard to do when you work full time. The days aren't too long in terms of daylight, so it's hard to get out there and get these jobs done. But I must persevere and get those things done. But I don't need to worry about the things that I'm taking cuttings off. So one of the questions I got recently was, why do I take cuttings at this time of year? Well, it's so that I've got those plants that will do well through winter because they're in the warm greenhouse or on windowsills as small cuttings that don't take up too much space. And the mother plants, the main plants that have grown all the year and got rather large in some cases, they're still outside and they're still looking good, and they'll carry on looking good until they get damaged by frost. And I don't take up those plants because they take up more space, and I'll be bringing soil in with those and potentially bringing in more pests, which we don't need to. Whereas cuttings are clean, there's no soil involved at the start of the process, and then it goes into pretty inert, media without any bugs or anything when you get it through a new compost bag in the greenhouse or inside. It's raining, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, so I'll have to stop talking soon. Just to say, if you haven't done so already, check out the overwintering guide. I've got loads on my channel of how I look after my plants, and you'll see some are about 10, 11 years old. A lot of those methods, or pretty much all those methods, are still valid now, whereas some are only last year old or this year old. And again, they're valid as well. Some thinking has changed of some plants, Musa Baju. Do you protect them? Do you let them go down to ground level? Well, in my case, I've tried both, and actually protecting them means I get a bigger plant the next year. If you're in a warmer location, or you've got bigger plants and let those get cut down to ground every year and they grow big every year for you the following year, then perhaps you don't need to protect them. But for me, in an inland location here, I need to protect them if I want the stems to get big over year. And if you watch George's latest video, he's talked about risking some plants and keeping some plants as backups, which I totally agree with. So for instance, my Musa sycamensis, which I have in the distance over there, I got 3 pups this year because a mother plant got killed last winter, but it survived. I got 3 pups, grown really, really well, much better than Musa Baju. And what I've just done is dug one of those up, and that's in the greenhouse, and the other 2 I'm going to leave outside and probably protect them in situ. So I've got a backup in the greenhouse, and I've got the plants in the ground, which might do better overall because I've got the good root supply, and next spring, once it warms up, they should grow away really, really well. So check out online videos now, do research now, because we've got a bit more time because it seems so mild. But hopefully cold does come a bit. I know people don't want cold, but a lot of plants do need a cold dormant season before they can go into good growth the following year. So yes, things like the cannas and stuff really don't need a dormant season, but many plants do. The ones that lose the leaves, the ones that just need that rest period, carnivorous plants need that as well. So we do need some winter at some point, but hopefully it won't be a cold one. So a bit of a blurb talking about random things at the moment. So soon on my channel, I will be doing a tour down the fence line, all the different Trachycarpus palms. I've got every species planted out. If you follow those on year, you've seen them grow from very small plants to less small plants, some rather large plants. And we'll do an update on how they fared this year after a couple of them were damaged quite badly last winter. So that update will be coming hopefully before the end of the year, when all this foliage is cleared out of the way and we can actually see the palm trees behind. So that's something to look forward to as well on my channel, and we'll be doing more garden videos every week. Thanks for watching.